Magandang hapon Malacanang Press Corps and welcome sa ating press briefing ngayong araw, July 30th. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. convened a sectoral meeting focused on the preparations for La Nina and to ensure effective flood control measures. President Marcos directed the relevant agencies to intensify the timely dissemination of early warning, weather updates, and flood risk forecasting. The president reiterated the need to build more water impounding projects as part of the government's master plan for flood management. The president also directed DPWH to pursue long-term, large-scale flood control plans and to improve catch basins to prevent floods. He ordered the relevant agencies to prioritize areas that are at greatest risk. President Marcos also ordered the Metro Manila Development Authority to continue to implement the large-scale drainage plan. And joining us today are Department of Public Works and Highways Secretary Manuel Bonoan and Metropolitan Manila Development Authority Chairperson Romando Artes. Good afternoon, Secretary Bonoan and Chairman Artes.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead and please brief the media on the meeting today with the President.
Well, today we presented to the President actually what the Department of Public Works and Highways is undertaking to mitigate the flooding problems all over the country. And in particular, we focused also on Metro Manila area. And in today's briefing, I mentioned to the President that since this administration took over in July of 2022 and up to May of 2024, we were able to accomplish or to complete about 5,521 projects. And these projects, I have to clarify that many of these projects also started way back in the previous administrations. But these were projects that we have to continue because these were delayed because of pandemic and other factors. So, but we continued on, and these projects were completed. And I also informed the President that continuing with the flood control projects all over the country, we are going to continue to implement more than 5,000 flood control projects. But I categorized these projects are the immediate engineering interventions in the principal rivers, because the Department of Public Works and Highways also implementing flood control management programs in the 18 major river basins throughout the country, including Metro Manila. And this is the Pasig Marikina Flood Control Management System. So I laid down actually what are the components of these projects and everything, and I think there are directives in the process. The President has directed the department to consider actually not only the flow of floodwaters, but also to impound initially the floodwaters in the watershed areas. And this is a very important component that we need to address at this point in time. And I think basically this is a solution that will impede actually the flow of floodwaters down to the low-lying areas. And of course, there are other instructions of the President that we have to collaborate also with the other stakeholders, particularly in the internal drainage management systems, particularly in urban areas, because this is very vital to address the runoff waters particularly in urban areas. So these are some of the things that the President instructed us to look into in the future projects that we are going to implement in the department.
Okay, thank you, Secretary Bonoan. Chairman Artes?
Yes, before I start, I'd just like to correct the post circulating online that MMDA has 787.6 billion budget for flood control for the past 2 years total. That's fake news. We don't have that much budget for flood control. In fact, for 2023, we only have 1.8 billion budget and 2.2 billion for 2024. That includes the 400 million for operations and maintenance of 71 pumping stations. So the 787.6 billion is fake news. In fact, sa history po siguro ng MMDA, we are already 49 years. Baka yung total budget po namin sa 49 years na yan ay hindi pa naka 87 billion. So, mali po yung kumakalat sa post na 787.6 billion ang budget ng MMDA for flood control projects sa 2 taon. We just like to emphasize, at kanina po ay napag-usapan, unang-una yung pong tubig na dala nitong bagyong Karina ay mas mataas or mas marami kisa sa dala ng Ondoy. 471 mm in 24 hours as compared to 455 noong pong Ondoy. Pero despite that, nakita naman po natin mabilis tumaas yung tubig pero mabilis din naman po nag-recede. Ang atin po kasing pumping stations ay may capacity na 15 to 20 mm per hour. Ang bagyong Karina po ay nagdala ng 74 mm na tubig per hour. So, pero after a few hours naman po, halos lahat ay nawala na ng tubig, baha, except po sa some areas, particularly Malabon na Botas, dahil nasira lang po yung floodgates. Na report naman po yan na yan ay nabangga ng isang barko at ngayon po ongoing yung repair as we speak. Yung naman po sa Valenzuela, nagkasabay po kasi yung release ng 2 dams, yung Ipo and Angat at yung high tide, kaya hindi ma-pump out yung tubig. So as soon as nag-low tide naman, na-pump out natin yung tubig. Kanina napag-usapan yung mga measures para maiwasan to, particularly yung sa Valenzuela, small impounding and big impounding projects at yung possibility na magkaroon ng, tama ba yun, Secmani, yung interceptors, para yung mga tubig galing upstreams ay hindi na dumaan doon sa mga flood-prone areas at ma-divert na diretso palabas, probably Pacific Ocean or Manila Bay. Na pag-usapan din kanina yung iba pang mga solutions like mga yung sa internal drainage. Kami po ng DPWH ay magsasagawa ng Drainage Master Plan. Approved na po yan for funding ng World Bank. Hinihintay lang po namin yung extension ng loan facility ng World Bank. So, yan po yung gagawa ng comprehensive drainage master plan dito po sa Metro Manila. Alam naman po natin, antiquated na yung ating drainage system. According to Secmani, yan po ay nagawa pa noong panahon ng dating Pangulong Marcos, yung drainage master plan for Metro Manila. So, kailangan na po talagang i-update, lalong-lalo na sa ngayon na meron tayong climate change, mas mataas na po yung tide ng tubig sa ating mga oceans at yung ulan po na dala ng mga bagyo ay mas malalakas. So, update lang din po, in-update natin ng Pangulo doon sa clean up drive na ginagawa ng MMDA sa Metro Manila. Nakita naman po siguro natin yung mga basura na dala ng bagyo at ganoon din po yung mga itinatapon po ng ating mga kababayan na mga napinsalang gamit sa atin din po mga pumping stations. Napakarami po ng nahihigop na basura. Sabi nga po ni Secmani, pag inipon mo daw yung mga basura na iba't ibang klase, makakapagpatayo ka ng bahay, furnish pa. Dahil meron pong ref, kama, mattress, at kung ano-ano pong mga appliances and furnitures ang kasama po na basura na dadala sa ating mga pumping stations. Na-discuss naman po ni Sec Manny kung ano yung mga long-term plans para mawala po yung baha sa Metro Manila na alinsunod doon sa master plan na ginawa ng World Bank. World Bank plans po yan hanggang 2035. So, ginagawa naman po lahat yan.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Artes. Question from Chona Yu, People's Journal.
Sir, good afternoon. Yung 5,500 completed flood control projects, saan po ito matatagpuan at ilan po doon ang sa Metro Manila? And yung additional na 5,000 na sabi mo na itutuloy pa ng administration, saan po ulit ito? Thank you.
Well, nandito sa akin yung listahan and all over the regions, no? All over the regions. And with your specific question about NCR, itong natapos namin sa NCR actually is about 656 flood control projects. No? This includes siguro yung mga paggawa ng mga revetment walls sa mga tributaries, paglilinis ng yung mga tributaries going to the flood, yung pumping stations, paglagay. Nakita ko yun doon sa mga ginawa nung mga nakaraan, yung pag-install ng mga booster pumps actually doon sa mga tributaries para mas mabilis yung paghigop ng tubig baha sa Metro Manila. At saka yung pag-desilt ng other ng mga waterways, no? So these are from 2019 to 2023. Marami ito all the way to all regions actually.
Sir, is there a chance na maging flood-free ang Metro Manila?
Well, kasi I don't know what is the definition of flood-free. I think
Konting ulan, baha.
Konting ulan, hindi naman siguro yung konting ulan, baha actually. Now I think actually there are still many low-lying areas in Metro Manila. Ang kwan lang natin dito is to mitigate the flooding problems in Metro Manila, no? By way of ito yung sinasabi natin, by way of implementing yung engineering solutions, and plus of course yung social and environmental issues have also to be addressed actually, no? Kagaya niyan in Metro Manila, nasabi nga natin dito sa natin, Metro Manila is a small area with so many people, so it's overpopulated siguro at this point in time. More people, more business, more economic activities, more problems that you will get. So ang panuho natin dito is we are trying to, kagaya nga ng sinabi ni Presidente, i-trap muna natin yung mga tubig baha na nanggagaling sa watershed, particularly in the Sierra Madre Mountains, no? And so that yung pagdaloy ng tubig baha will be controlled actually para hindi naman yung buhos kaagad na pumapasok. I think we have enough protection already that we have implemented throughout the years dito sa Pasig Marikina River by enhancing or dinagdagan natin yung mga revetment walls all over, no? At Pasig Marikina River, and this will already give a ample protection from yung overflowing of Pasig Marikina to the low-lying areas of Metro Manila, and this will ensure that there's going to be an effective and efficient waterway para to dispose the flood waters as they come. Pero the other problem that we have to look into is actually how do we draw out the runoff water that is trapped inside Metro Manila. And ito yung sinasabi nga ni MMDA Chairman that we have to look into the antiquated drainage system. Kasi there was a study done before na yung drainage system, internal drainage system of Metro Manila, yung mga maliliit na pipes dito is already about 30% efficient, no? 70% of the internal drainage of Metro Manila is silted sa mga basura and other things. No? So this need to be rehabilitated and upgraded. Yun lang ang kuha natin dito. And of course, marami pa yung other factors like this is a social factor like yung mga informal settlers that are staying in the waterways, yung mga ganon. And these are the most vulnerable people also that need to be addressed.
Secretary, you mentioned the catch basins, which the President had stressed today as one of the main possible solutions to flooding. And this is in keeping with the way this administration is managing water. So it's not just flood management, but it's an entire water management system that the President would like to have a long-term, large-scale solution.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is what the President wants to address the flood management program. It has to be done holistically and integrated manner. You know? Kasi if we are doing actually the engineering part of it and we are not addressing the environmental and social issues, I think there is still this chance. You know? It has to be integrated and integrated way of addressing the flooding problems.
Sorry. Alan Francisco, PTV4.
Hi, Sec. Hi, Attorney. Nabanggit niyo po yung tungkol sa basura. You were saying na mas marami yung tubig na dala ng bagyong Karina compared to Ondoy. So usapin ng basura, sir, saan mas maraming na kolekta na ipon?
Well, halos lahat ng flooded areas may naiwan na basura. And even sa mga pumping stations natin, halos napuno ng basura. Truckloads ang ating nakukuha. Minsan isang barangay, 10, 12 truckloads ang hinahahakot namin na basura. Yan ay sa MMDA side lang. Yung wala pa dyan yung regular na humahakot ng basura na contractors ng LGUs. Dahil napakarami po talaga. Even during our monitoring nung kasagsagan ng bagyo, talaga pong napakaraming basura ang dala ng tubig baha. Well, more likely po dahil household waste po yung kasama na mga basura.
Secretary, paki-explain lang po itong Comprehensive Drainage Master Plan para sa mga kababayan nating nanonood ngayon. Anong matutulong nito itong plano na to, sir?
I think
Chairman
GM will
Go,
be
Chairman.
more. Chairman.
Yung kasing Comprehensive Drainage Master Plan, yan po ay tulad ng ginagawa sa Netherlands. Similarly situated tayo sa Netherlands, ang Metro Manila, particularly yung Amsterdam, dahil mababa siyang lugar at bahain. Ang kanilang ginawa, meron silang 50 to 60-year drainage master plan. Meaning, piniproject na nila yung tubig ulan based on weather patterns. Kung gaano karaming ulan ang darating 30 years and 50 years from the time na ginagawa yon. Then, ina-adjust nila yan after 30 years. So, yung plano po natin kasama ang DPWH at mga LGUs, aralin lahat yung drainage system na dito sa buong Metro Manila. As we have said, antiquated na kasi siya, maliliit, silted. Kailangan na po na integrated siya, meaning dito sa lugar na to, ganito kalapad, ganito kalalim. Hindi dapat pagdating sa kabila na karsada, makipot, mababaw, hindi nakakadiretso yung tubig. Dito po sa ating drainage master plan, lahat po yan integrated para ang daloy ng tubig ulan ay dire-diretso by force of gravity palabas sa mga major waterways at hindi po maipon sa particular na lugar. So, yan po yung purpose and benefits ng Drainage Master Plan na gagawin po namin ng MMDA, ng DPWH, katulong po ang mga LGUs ng Metro Manila.
Magkano, attorney, ang budget dyan?
Well, pinag-aaralan pa kasi depende sa scope ng trabahong gagawin dito sa plano. Kasi parang ang tinitingnan po natin, kasama na yung detailed engineering design. So pati po yung disenyo ng mismong kanal or drainage, pati po yung mga gamit na gagamitin ay gusto natin ipasama na para may template na tayo or Bible para kung ang magpapagawa ay DPWH, ganito yung susundin. Pag LGU, ganito po yung susundin. Para may specific standard na. So, depende po yan kung kakayanin ng budget, kung hanggang detailed engineering design. So, magpo-propose po tayo together with DPWH kung magkano yung possible cost.
Okay. Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN.
Secretary siya kay Chairman. Sir, because of La Nina, we expect to experience, if not the same intensity or more typhoons of this intensity yung kay Typhoon Karina. So, can we assure the public na yung mga interventions that we are doing, particularly on the short term, kasi nangyayari na siya this year, would be enough to prevent what happened next week from happening again? Or at least mabawasan man lang, sir?
Well, what I can say is actually the engineering interventions that we have done so far is actually have been made effective actually for the conveyance of flood waters now. Ang problema natin dito, how to get the flood waters inside the waterways, no. I think yung nangyari kasi sa atin dito between ngayon sa Karina Typhoon Karina is that inugot niya ang habagat, and that exacerbated actually the rainfall intensity. As we were briefed actually today, I think the probabilities of having yung hihigupin ulit yung habagat may not be that intense at this point in time. Kasi I think, sabi nga nila, maybe by August or September, medyo lumalapit na yung bagyo sa land. So, it will be faster to siguro yung rain intensity. Well, hopefully, ganon. But I think the more important thing is actually that we are now planning actually all the components for flood management at this point in time.
Pero pagdating, sir, sa short term, of course, hindi naman matatanggal sa taong bayan na isipin na posible mangyari ito because we're experiencing La Nina. How confident are we on the effectiveness of what we will be doing on the short term?
Short term, I think for Metro Manila, if we're talking of Metro Manila, i-address lang siguro yung muna yung basura. So that hindi mabarahan yung mga waterways, no? Kasi sa ngayon kasi in the short term, now we are actually rehabilitating some of the major pumping stations in Metro Manila to increase the output capacity ng mga pumps sa pumping stations, no. Ang kuwan lang natin dito is how to get the flood waters to the pumping stations. So ito yung sinasabi nga natin na medyo hindi na efficient yung drainage system in Metro Manila. And this is complicated and exacerbated because of yung nababarahan nga sa basura. So if I think ma-address lang muna kaagad yung pagtatapon ng basura so that it will not clog the available waterways now, I think it would help a lot sa tingin ko at this point in time, no? Kasi I can assure you that yung engineering interventions or structures that we have actually already constructed along the Pasig Marikina River would be enough to safeguard actually yung hindi mag-overflow ang Pasig River towards the low-lying areas in Metro Manila.
Okay. Ivan Mayrina, GMA 7.
Sec and Chairman, may pinag-uusapan naman po tayo ngayong drainage systems improvement. But in 2012, nag-approve po ang nooy Public Works Secretary Babe Singson ng master plan. At nabanggit po ninyo sa isang interview, wala pang 30% na complete more than a decade after. So are we scrapping that project altogether at ito na naman po yung gagawin natin? And would we still maintain that yung lahat po ng pondong ibinigay sa DPWH at sa MMDA, for that matter, for flood control, has been money well spent?
Sa akin, I think, well, it helped a lot, actually. It helped a lot yung mga initial flood control programs that had been implemented over the years. Hindi naman natin sabihin na nasayang lang yan. And this is evident enough that yung sinasabi nga na natin nung Indoy, the flood waters stayed in Metro Manila for more than 2 weeks. Or eto na ngayon, with some of the flood control projects that were implemented over the years, no, yung engineering interventions and other projects that were implemented, kita naman natin that the flood waters have receded quite faster than Ondoy, no. So I think it contributed a lot. But again, engineering intervention is just one component of flood mitigation problem. It has to be done holistically. Yan sinasabi nga natin eh. Over the years, sinasabi natin, from Ondoy to now, I think nandoon pa rin. The population increased, economic activities increased, basura increased, and so forth and so on. So, I think, I can assure you that I think the funds that were put into the infrastructure component, they have helped a lot in mitigating the flooding problems also in Metro Manila. And of course, in all other parts of the country. Kasi, ito nga yung sinasabi ko, the engineering interventions are 2 parts, no? The immediate protection of low-lying areas, and these are yung mga immediate flood control projects. And then we are addressing the holistic flood control programs through the river basin concept. Ito yung river basin concept. So, ito yung dalawang aspects. But we need it now, immediate yung protection of low-lying areas through yung flood control projects all over the country. Kasi yung river basin program, holistic ito, but it may take a little time to implement all the components of the river basin program.
Can I add lang?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Regarding doon kung nasayang ang pera, I don't think so. Kasi meron din naman mga areas na dati binabaha, like yung Vista Royal in Quezon City and LGB. Noong pong Ondoy, halos lagpas tao po ang tubig dyan. Pero ito pong Bagyong Karina, wala pong baha sa loob ng mga subdivisions na yan. Yan po ay dahil sa mga flood control measures and projects na implement ng DPWH, particularly sa Marikina River and Pasig River. So, even po sa Provident Village sa Marikina, dati lagpas bubong ang tubig dyan. Ngayon po hindi. So, nakatulong. Sabi nga, maybe we cannot prevent yung pagbaha, pero we can mitigate. And kung pagbabasihan yung bilis ng pagbaba ng tubig, in fact, ibang lugar sa Metro Manila, matter of hours after na tumigil ang ulan, nawala po yung tubig baha. So, doon makikita yung efficiency ng mga flood control projects na ginagawa ng MMDA at ng DPWH in particular.
Sir, meron din pong nasasabi na nahihirapang makapunta yung tubig mula sa mga ilog papunta sa Manila Bay dahil daw sa reclamation projects.
Well, I don't know. There has to be a scientific basis siguro kung bakit gano'n ang kanilang kwan. Because Pasig River is open naman eh. Wala naman nakasara sa Pasig River. And Tulyahan River. There are 2 waterways in Metro Manila na may yung conveyance for flood waters. It's Pasig River and Tulyahan River. And I think these are free-flowing tributaries naman. I mean, these are the major rivers. At nakikita naman namin na wala naman yatang nakabara sa pagdaloy ng flood waters.
So hindi ho aggravate yung reclamation activities sa mga pagbaha nitong nakarang linggo?
I would not know how it aggravated the flood control projects actually
Thank you.
at this time.
Tuesday New, DZBB.
Hello, sirs and ma'am. To MMDA Chairman Romando Artes. Sir, ang sabi ni Secretary Bonoan, unahin natin yung basura. So, ano po kayang adjustments ang gagawin ng MMDA para itong mga napakarami pa ring basura hanggang ngayon ay matanggal natin sa mga waterways at hindi na siya mag-cause para umapaw yung mga drainage natin at magbaha sa loob ng communities?
Well, unang-una yung community involvement siguro. Kailangan magkaroon na ng pagbabago sa mindset ng ating mga kababayan. Ang mga LGUs po natin dito sa Metro Manila ay regular yung pagpapahakot ng basura. It's just that kailangan ilabas sa tamang oras at tamang lugar. Ang problem po sa na-observe namin, kung kailan umuulan at may baha, doon pa isasabay yung pagtatapon ng basura para maanod na lang. At yan po ay napupunta kung saan-saan sa low-lying areas. At marami po dyan ang bumabara sa atin pong mga drainage system. Like, noong pong kasagsagan ng bagyo, yun pong EDSA Orense ay nagkaroon ng tubig. Noong pinasisid po natin, naalis po yung bara, nawala po yung tubig. So, kailangan po namin ng tulong ng mamamayan na maging disiplinado sa pagtatapon ng basura. Whole year round po yung aming paglilinis ng mga drainage system. Pero kung paulit-ulit po yung pagtatapon ng basura, kahit araw-araw po namin linisin yan, magkakaroon pa rin po ng pagbabara. So I think kailangan po namin ng tulong talaga ng taong bayan na maging disiplinado in so far as basura is concerned.
Meron lang ako may dagdag. No? I think itong problema in Metro Manila is not unique in Metro Manila. This is actually same problems in all the urban areas now in the whole country. Davao, parehas ang problema, Cebu, all the big cities in the Philippines now have the same problem as far as the environmental issues and social issues are concerned. Actually, yung mga kababayan natin na nandun sa mga esteros, nandun din pa rin. You know, what is unique is actually, kahit na ito mga linalagay namin na mga revetment walls, yung flood control revetment walls, the moment na nagawa namin yung revetment walls, nandun na yung mga bahay sa top of the revetment walls. Yung mga ganon. And these are the vulnerable people actually na kuminsan na nababaha at naapektuhan sa pagbaha. Yung mga ganon. There are several issues actually.
Okay, let's go to this side of the room. Sam Medanilia, Business Mirror.
Good afternoon. For Secretary Bonoan po, balik lang po ako dun sa na-mention po yung tanong kanina ni Sir Ivan. Itutuloy pa po ba din ng Marcos administration yung flood control master plan ng Aquino administration? Yung 30%. Itutuloy pa rin po ba yan?
Yes po, yes. I think this is the master plan that we are implementing. I think wala pa naman pagbabago. I think the components that were laid out in the master plan are still there. And this is what we are now implementing actually. Kagaya niyan, yung drainage, kailangan natin yung drainage master plan. We have to address yung environmental issues sa basura and things like this. We have to, actually in the master plan, sasabihin ko na rin po natin, kailangan natin magawa yung Marikina Dam. Para Marikina Dam. Unfortunately po, meron ng dam na nagawa doon sa Wawa Dam that is for water supply. Now, ang kwan po natin dito is we need to implement other dams on top of the Wawa Dam para ma-store natin yung mga flood waters coming from the watershed area of the Sierra Madre. Yun ang masyadong magandang programa. And then, the concept of that is actually, gagawa rin po kami ng yung manggahan control gate structure para yung tubig baha ng gagaling sa Sierra Madre, medyo impound muna namin sa Laguna Lake para hindi dadalo, hindi pupunta sa Metro Manila, dito sa Manila, low-lying areas. But at the same time, meron ho kami yung isang malaking project, yung tinatawag namin Parañaque Spillway, to draw out the excess water of Manila Bay later on. You know. But all these are the components that we need to install actually.
Ay, Sec, magpa-follow up lang po ako. Sec, ay, dito po. Sir, bali, yung magkano pa po yung kakailanganin na budget ng DPWH to complete yung master plan, flood control master plan? At saka matatapos po kaya yun within the current administration? O meron lang po kayong certain % na target?
I think malaki na, this is the subject of this is now the subject of kung dito natin. I think we have to look into the resource availability and the economic viability, resource economic viability of all these components. I think to the best that we can is actually these are going to be mega projects that we are talking about, no? And I think it would be all right to start already all these projects, no? We can dito sa administration we have I think 3.5 more years effectively to implement all these projects, and I think if we can start implementing these projects, that will be carried on in other administrations. This would be good enough.
Sir, confident po kaya tayo na over 50%?
We'll try. We'll try. Actually, we just been 2 years actually under this administration, and I think ang panahon natin dito is we are doing the best that we can actually now to implement all the necessary flood control projects to mitigate the flooding problems in many parts of the country now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Harley Valbuena, DZME.
Hello, good afternoon po. Chairman Artes, yun pong nasirang floodgate sa Navotas, can we finish the repair before the onset of La Nina, perhaps in September or October?
Yes, ang nag-meeting naman po kami dyan ng DPWH. May timeline na kaming sinusunod. Right now, ongoing po yung desilting noong area around the navigational gate. Kasi po hindi siya maitaas masyado kasi sira nga po yung link arm. Kailangan pong malinis muna yung pong mga silt na nakakabara kaya hindi namin maiangat yung navigational gate using cranes. Ayaw naman po namin puwersahin dahil baka po masira yung mismong gate. So ang timeline po natin 2 weeks po yung pagdidesilt. Pero habang naman pong dinidesilt yung area, ginagawa naman po yung fabrication ng nasirang pyesa para as soon as maiangat po siya, maikabit po in a week or 2 yung ano. So more or less mga 1 month po yung timeline natin, weather permitting. Kasi nga po like itong bumagyo, medyo malakas po yung current, hindi po nakapagtrabaho yung mga gumagawa. So hopefully ngayon po low tide doon sa area, so mas mabilis-bilis po yung trabaho at minamaximize naman po natin. DPWH po ang nagpapagawa niyan in coordination po with MMDA.
Sir, meron na po tayong naisip na temporary solution para maharang yung tubig habang hindi pa po tuluyang nasasara yung gate, katulad po nung tinanong ni President Marcos last week dun sa situation briefing.
Well, ito nga yung sabi nga ni Presidente, if there is a way actually maharang yung tubig, no? But I think we're looking at a possible engineering intervention at this point in time kasi sasaraan mo yung Manila Bay actually to get into medyo it's going to be a challenging siguro to ma-impede yung pag-flow ng water, especially yung low-lying areas in Malabon and Navotas are susceptible to high tide. Kaya yun ang problema natin actually.
So sir,
Besides, kung may makakuhang engineering intervention, baka tapos na yung repair bago ma-implement yon. So, I think ang pinakamaganda pa rin ay yung pag-repair talaga ng navigational gate. Pero yung long-term solution dyan, kasi ang original plan dyan, dalawa talagang gates eh. So, bubuksan, papasok yung mga barko at bangka, isasara, then bubuksan yung second gate. But because of lack of funding before, isa lang yung nagawa. So, ang long-term solution talaga dyan ay gawin yung isa pang floodgate para kung masira man na isa, meron pa rin haharang na isa habang ginagawa. So, I think yung best option pa rin is for the immediate repair ng nasirang navigational gate.
So sir, for now, habang hindi pa fully repaired yung floodgate, yung residents ng Navotas, Malabon, and Valenzuela, they can expect the same flood that they experienced last week? If ever po magkaroon ulit tayo ng heavy rains?
I think sa high tide pa lang nagkakaroon na ng tubig ngayon doon sa tatlong barangay sa Malabon at 2 sa Navotas. So kung masasabayan niya ng pagbagyo at malakas na pag-ulan, mas mataas yung tubig dyan sa area na yan. So yes, I think habang ginagawa yan, hindi maiiwasan po yung pagbaha doon sa Malabon at Navotas.
Oh, this is an opportune time to also bring up that the DOST has a website called hazardhunter.ph. It's open to everyone. You can put your address there and see the risks involved, whether it's flooding or earthquake-prone areas. So please have a look at it and check already and be aware of the risks in the areas where you live in. Now we have room for one more question. Evelyn Quiroz, please. Filipino Mirror.
Good afternoon, Secretary Bonoan. Na-mention niyo po yung Marikina Dam na kailangan gawin on top of Wawa. Ano pong status ito? Ginagawa na ho ba? Or
Yes, under the Japan International Cooperation Agency funding, I think these are being now prepared. Magkakaroon lang tayo ng engineering studies and feasibility studies to determine actually yung at what type of dams that we have to construct and how much it will cost. And soon after, I think the Japan International Cooperation Agency is willing to provide the necessary funding for it.
So this year po ito, Sec?
It may not be this year immediately to be implemented, no, because we are going to prepare the plans muna. And we do the detailed engineering design by next year siguro to.
Okay, sir. Sec, follow-up lang po. Yung pong na-mention niya ng Manggahan Control Gate Structure, part po ba ito ng Manggahan Floodway?
Yes.
And during the time of former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr., meron po, yun po ang tawag floodway number 1. Di ba
Yes.
po may number 2 rin?
Yes.
Yung number 2 po ba, may plano pang, kasi po maganda ho yung project na yun.
This will be a new facility actually yung sinasabi ko ngayon. This will be the new facility na floodway. Nabanggit mo rin yung plano nung panahon pa ni former President Marcos. Actually, yung Marikina Dam and the Parañaque Spillway has already been there in the plan during the time of the former president. Actually, nandoon. So, hanggang ngayon.
And kaya rin ho ako masyado interesado dahil yung area ho namin is Kainta.
Yes.
Sobrang baha. Hanggang leeg po, tubig. Thank you po, Secretary.
Okay. I think this concludes our press briefing. Thank you so much to Malacanang Press Corps and thank you, Secretary Bonoan and Chairman Artes. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
Thank you.